Sunset high and a party stuff. Blood rush in the haze glow. My head still cold.
This is CryptoTube and welcome back to the channel and part of the Game of Nodes series. We are continuing with another project today, and if you're new to the channel, I'm just going to explain quickly what we are doing here. So part of the Game of Nodes series is I am investing 100 bucks into a Masternode project, and you can actually earn some free coins by participating in my airdrop with these. I'll have a mini series of 3 videos. Video 1, which is this, kicking off the airdrop, and we are doing the project review today. Video 2 will then be investing our Masternode shares in Midas investments and compounding those gains, and the third video is obviously the analysis of the experiment, seeing how well it's done, and then participating and giving out all those rewards to you guys. To be a part of this and to get in on the airdrop, all you have to do is 3 little things for me. First of all, join the Discord for both Paws, as that is the project we're reviewing today, and Midas. Links will be down below. Subscribe to my channel, big red button for you guys down there as well, and then leave your Paws wallet address for me to actually make the payment to. And I want you to leave the comment in this format: CryptoTube, Discord, followed by your wallet address. So just as this shows here, nice and simple. So today, kicking it off with the Paws.Fund, which is a charitable organization. Here is their actual Discord. They've got loads of useful links in here. They've got progress reports to show you exactly where they've been going, regular updates and announcements with so much information. You can't fault them at all. So a really strong team. They've been doing a lot of good things. And as I mentioned, they are a charitable organization, so their hearts are in the right places. And plus, we are going to be looking at the fact you can make some good profits from this as well, because it's a high ROI Masternode coin. So we'll hop into this today. So this is the website, Paws.Fund. So it says an animal charity ledger powered by blockchain. So Paws is a non-profit charity blockchain project developed out of our love and strictly for the benefit of our furry/pet animal companions and family members. So they are producing what is going to be a whole ecosystem from which we can help fund charitable projects to do with animals and animal welfare, but also the ecosystems can go further, so you can actually purchase items through with Paws. So for example, you might be able to buy your pet's food or treats or little things you want to dress it up. We're going to look for retailers from which we can partner with and make Paws a method of payment. They're going to be doing things such as making their own collars, which will be tracked and fully trackable on the blockchain. So if your pet was to go missing, it would be easily found and retrievable via the use of the blockchain. Just pop the code in and you're away. So many good things that we're going to look at today, and we're going to have a bit of a deep dive into the white paper to see exactly what they've come up with, telling us about the future plans for themselves and all that good stuff. And the white paper came out on January the 11th, so it's pretty new. I've read over it a few times, and it is one of, I'd say, a few white papers that is genuinely interesting to read. Most of them are just facts after facts after facts, and it can get quite tedious, but this one's a really good read. So we will dive into it. We'll go through quite a bit, but it will be fairly interesting too. So the vision of the project was to obviously create a comprehensive case-use crypto coin dedicated for animals' needs, built from the ground up, growing network and partnerships of vendors, retailers, and so on and so forth. So they've got a real strategic vision to try and make this a big brand. The name itself, Paws, I think is a strong brand name, and you can actually imagine that being a well-known animal charity in the future. So I think they've got that spot on as well. And obviously the blockchain just allows you to make so many cost savings, efficiencies, transparency issues as well that a lot of charities suffer with. So I think it's got a lot of potential here, and it's going to be one to really keep an eye out on for the future. It could be a big charitable cause in the future. They've got the full team here as well. There's a little bit of information upon their backgrounds. We know who they are. They're public facing. You can look at their LinkedIn profiles. There's a bit on like there's like some jokes about their animals and stuff. They've got like guinea pigs. There's just nice little bits here. It's good to see a team exposing themselves, and they seem to be like, you just get a sense of a good personality from them as well. So that's all good stuff, and is a big tick box that we actually know who they are. We get plenty of comms as well from the main guy Ian as well. So if you're on Discord, you will notice him popping up with plenty of announcements and just really keeping us totally up to date with what is going on. We got a coin spec here, but we'll look at that in the white paper, and all their links are down here as well. So we'll start off in the white paper on the abstract here, and it's saying that Paws has created a self-funding model by integrating charity directly into the blockchain, and they do that through the block rewards. So plugged into the block rewards, I believe it's from block 10,000, there is 20% of the block reward actually goes into their fund. So they are self-sustaining, and this is obviously something that most charities aren't. They always rely on constant donation from people, but by having this element, economically it makes a huge amount of sense, and it ensures that they have a future in their own hands and they're not totally reliant on donations. Of course, they're going to get some, and it's obviously a good thing to get lots of charitable donations to obviously help all these causes, but the fact they've got some of their own source of funding continually through the life of the project, that's a real good lifeblood to have there, and something that's quite impressive. So it says the key of being able to continuously provide for charity organisations animals in need lies with managing the supply of the Paws coins. To ensure value remains, Paws.Fund has already surpassed all expectations for their reward structure and coin management skills. So the actual structure of the coins in terms of their reward delivery ensures there's constant demand for the coin, and you're not getting a huge ROI only at the start where you get people pumping and then accumulating a lot of coins and then just dumping them. There's a continual growth of the coin itself, and the high ROI to sustain for a long period of time. So obviously a lot of people are going to come in and accumulate coins and hopefully have lots of buyers and not so many people dumping and really crashing the price. So it seems to be, so far at this early stage, that they've done this quite well, and it seems to be panning out. It says on here the first product due for release will be the Paws.Fund tracking tool platform. So this is one of the many platforms and a part of the ecosystem they're building. This will form the foundations for a framework of applications with others to follow soon after. The tracking tool platform will be user-based, allowing anyone to register for an account to donate directly to the listed charities or propose others for consideration. All public donations will be free from fees and receipts. Account reports will also be available and downloadable. Online stores accepting Paws as payment are in the pipeline, so we'll have a real world use case there. If you can go to like Pets at Home, for example, in the UK and pay with Paws coin, we'll have that use case there, and it's kind of bringing together the real world with crypto. And I think by having a targeting like pet owners here, we're going to be able to bring a lot of people who haven't been previously exposed to the blockchain now to the blockchain and understand what it is. So I think this one's a good one for crypto adoption in general as well. So it is rather impressive. Another possibility is Paws hosting service for easy deployment of Masternodes. So they're even thinking ahead in terms of this whole Masternode launching business and ways of making additional money to obviously fund their charitable cases. So pretty good in terms of its ideas. When it's talking about the actual the fund tracking tool, that will be so you can actually see exactly where your payments go into, what pot of money is it going towards, is it reaching its end goal, which it will be, and because it's on the blockchain, obviously everything is totally transparent and we can check out exactly where our funds are going. If we just pop over now a few pages, and this is part of the introduction. So they just talk about them being a non-profit charity based on the blockchain, and they want to obviously provide a better standard of living for pets, see less neglect, and totally will just have a good outlook in terms of looking after animals, their welfare. But beyond just pets, they're looking at like endangered species and things like this. So it is an all-encompassing animal-based charity. They go on to mention within here as well some of the challenges that charities actually face. The main one at the moment being trustworthiness. I think a lot of us would have heard about like Oxfam and UNICEF with aid workers doing things they shouldn't have been doing overseas. That has a knock-on effect for the whole sector. People lose trust in charities in general, which is obviously a really bad thing, because one person's kind of spoiling the lot there for everyone. And the fact that we have a lack of trust, you'll hear about misappropriation of funds with charities and things like this. How can we actually overcome this? So they're trying to spin the issue of trustworthiness and saying, look, if we're a charity on the blockchain, you can see exactly where payments are going. Everything is auditable. I can sit at my desk at home and look at these wallets and say, okay, 50,000 paws has moved out of there. Why is that? Let's go on Discord and ask. Or what they're going to be doing is telling us exactly where the money is going and making sure that we're comfortable with how things have been spending. Obviously, having Masternodes, you have a governance framework in there, so we'll be able to vote on where money is spent. So there's many benefits of bringing a charity onto the blockchain, and they're obviously hoping to expose some of these. Some of their other bits they talk about here, so it says having tangible positive results, both trust and the propensity of donate increase. So if you can show that your charity is having results, showing exactly what's been done with the money, people are likely to donate more, and there's obviously an opportunity through cryptocurrency and the blockchain, through the media channels that we have available, to say, look, we spent 50,000 paws on an animal shelter here. Here's a video of this being set up. This is the end goal, and it's likely to influence people to donate more money in the future. Trust and confidence, it says it remains part of about 2017 levels, and obviously the scandals in media, scandals within the media we just highlighted on, do obviously knock back the whole industry in general. There's regulation by the Charity Commission, which obviously is a good thing, but more could be done, and I think the blockchain could be a really viable solution for many charities to come on board with. So some of the solutions that they're proposing here, obviously a community approach. We know on like Discord chats and things like this, we are able to build big communities, over 6,000 members on Paws Discord already. Getting people to put in their suggestions and having their voice and being able to direct a project is obviously a good thing, and it obviously gets people to invest more time when they know that they can actually have a lasting effect on a project. And you get that as well with, as mentioned, the governance you get from Masternodes. If we're able to vote on the way forward for the project in general, because it's a decentralized cryptocurrency, we're going to feel like we own a part of Paws and we're really a part of the project. So they talk about the transparency factor here. So the fact that obviously the blockchain makes transactions more transparent and immutable. Making a charge to the amount or deleting or modifying a transaction anyway requires the consent of all parties to the smart contract. So we're going to be overcoming the fact that you get big CEOs of charities taking money out totally unchallenged. Everything's on the blockchain. We can see it, we can audit it, and make sure everything is tracked and going exactly where it should be. So this is where it's talking about being trackable and auditable. Down here we go in to talk about how Paws will obviously help the token holders as well. So because it's Masternode based and there are block rewards, obviously token holders can increase their holding of a coin. So keeping our coins in the Masternode, we're going to get a return on our investment and continually get paid for holding the coin in the wallet. This obviously decentralizes the network one, helps with transactions and processing, keeps the price stable as well because a lot of coins are locked up. So there's many benefits to using a Masternode for Paws, and this is kind of why they've decided to go down this route. And this kind of ties in as well with the fact you need 1,000 Paws coins to launch your own Masternode. We're investing $100 worth of Paws. It's about 300 Paws at this time, so about a third of a Masternode. We'll be investing on Midas investments for the month, because on Midas we can compound our gains, because each coin that's rewarded we can 100% reinvest and ensure that each coin that's rewarded actually rewards even more coins going forward. So each coin benefits us and helps our money grow. So hopefully at the end of the 28 day period, I'll have a good chunk to obviously pay out to you guys in the distribution of the airdrop. Within the vision here, we have an overview of kind of the ethos of the Paws guys, what they've come up with. So it says the mission of Paws is to provide animals with the basic necessities for a happy and healthy life, including love and care. The vision of Paws was originally primarily focused on care for support of dogs and cats, but progressively extended outwards to wildlife and also endangered wildlife. So we get a feel of what the company wants to do and wants to achieve, and the fact that it is wider arching than just pets at home. So it's a good feel to it. Having read through it, you get a sense that you can trust these guys. It's really well laid out, and the fact they're trying to build a full ecosystem in like a real business mindset is a good thing, because it's going to be a self-sustaining business model in general, and it can have many arms. In terms of what it can do, the sky's the limit, because there's just so many different markets and niches within it when it comes to pets and wildlife, that they can really exploit a lot of things and take full advantage of the blockchain to do this. We got the funds and the pre-mine stuff here. So a total of 500,000 paws were mined during the launch of the network. So 2.3% was the pre-mine. 21 million is the most that can ever be mined. Those paws were generated in block 1 and can be tracked in the Explorer. So they've got the pre-mine address on there. They keep a vault, so 400,000 paws were placed in the paws vault. So the paws vault is going to be locked up, and obviously is just in case of any big expenditure things they need to have. So say there was an issue with the blockchain, for example, they need to have someone come in and fix it. There's funds there, so a sensible way of doing things and conducting yourself. Pre-mine, 100,000 paws in the pre-mine account. They were intended to be used for development, pre-sale and funding. It was decided that on a voluntary basis that 50,000 of these paws from the pre-mine account would be put into the vault, so boosting the vault by a further 50,000 there. Operational funds, so since block 10,000, paws has been receiving 10% of each block reward to the operational fund, and since this block reward as well, 10% of the block rewards have been given to donation fund. So as mentioned, the block rewards are 70% for a Masternode, 10% for proof of stake, then we've got 10% going to the donation fund and 10% to the operational fund. So that is the self-sustaining element that we mentioned, and obviously by having that in there, we're able to establish that the Paws has a sensible outlook. It's realized that it can manipulate the use of masternodes to progress its lifeline, and to ensure that there's always going to be demand for the coin via investors like myself, B, demand from people who may just hold a small amount in terms of staking, and it also then benefits those. So say if I was a pet owner and I want to maybe start buying my dog food through a Paws accredited distributor, I can just stake my coins. I know I'm going to accumulate a little bit more. Maybe once every few months I can get some free dog treats as well for the dog. And then they've got that 10% and 10% split, so their funds are always being topped up, and that ensures that they can push on with the project, keep ticking off those items on the roadmap. So it says on their blockchain here, Paws has chosen to create a cryptocurrency as it's one of the best modern methods for instantaneous transaction and minimal transaction fees. We feel that this allows for contributors and donors to be able to have more of their donations directly support the cause or campaign that they're choosing, rather than getting gouged by third-party service fees. When you think of like banking fees, transaction fees, administration costs, if you send £100 to a charity, in terms of the amount that actually gets there, it's probably like 60, 50 quid. A lot of it is eaten up by administration costs. Being on the blockchain, we can minimize those, and obviously that means more of our money gets to the end case, which is obviously a benefit for everybody involved. There is a full roadmap that we'll take a brief look at a little bit later, but they do go on beyond the year 2020, which is good to have that long-term future. This is where they start to mention the total ecosystem. So first things first, they've established that they needed to create a forum. The forum is live here. I'll leave a link to it. So guides and tutorials, giveaways, competitions, what you need to know to get started. So a forum is beneficial because obviously a lot of people who will find Paws may not be exposed to the blockchain previously. They're going to be your average guy on the street who probably has never heard of cryptocurrency even. Paws has to find a way of getting people who aren't blockchain savvy, they're not tech savvy, into using their cryptocurrency. Forums are one of the biggest ways to actually get people to interact with each other and to interact with a project. If I want to find something out, I Google it online, I'll come up with the forum, look through the post and see what's happening, see what other like-minded people are saying. So the forum is a good way of obviously bringing people into, well, like a stepping stone onto blockchain. So this is our introduction and getting a lot of people involved. We're not annexing everyone who's not involved in crypto away from ourselves. We want to be totally a big rounded company and have everyone involved with this. So obviously getting people who are external to crypto is a big one. Online shops, so they're going to create their own online shop at some stage, selling Paws clothing and merchandise, 100% of profit going to worthy recipients. So that's another tick point for me, creating a business to sustain more money going into their project. A directory for pet owners, so a global directory for all pet-friendly cafes and places. So if you imagine like Google Maps but for your dog, we can see where's friendly. I can go and take my dog to this coffee shop down the street and really map that out. So that's having more of a social aspect there. It says donations, we will welcome all public donations which will be publicly tracked to the end source through our own advanced tracking tools. Users will be able to register and log in to donate and track their charities of their choice. I think having that trackable element again boosts trustworthiness and it gets people to buy into something. And you kind of want to see, oh, what's the process down the pipeline? When's it reached the end goal? So it really does tie people into things. The pet tracking system, so this is one of their plans to actually have the ability to track like lost animals on the blockchain, which is obviously a really good idea and would obviously speed up the time in which pets being rehomed to their original owners would take. We'll go on to their technology a little bit and the coin spec now. So the coin name itself is Paws.Fund, the ticker is Paws, algorithm is on Quark, proof of stake, block rewards go up to 9 at its highest. The Masternode collateral, as mentioned, 1,000 Paws, 70% for Masternodes, 10% staking, 10% charity fund, 10% operational fund, block time 60 seconds, 21 million total supply. So based on the well-known PIVX fork, this is an energy efficient process. We know about proof of stake and not being proof of work and less efficient and all that good stuff. This is where it gives a bit of a clearer breakdown of the actual block rewards. So it says at Paws the block rewards are split into the 4 parts as mentioned, 70%, 10, 10, 10. The block reward scheme chosen by Paws is quite a bit different than commonly seen with proof of stake blockchains. It is quite common to start with high block rewards to attract investors, which is then slowly reduced towards maturity of the network to avoid inflation. But the problem is that this can, obviously, people who are involved in a pre-sale can accumulate a lot of coins a lot quickly, more than your general guy on the street, and then they can dump those on there, which just damages the project long term. So Paws has chosen to have a very low block reward at launch, slowly build this up over time to match the expected growth rate. So this is the actual scheme here. If we go to Explorer, block 120,000, so each block period is roughly 1 week. We are in week 13 now. So block rewards 7, that is split 4.9 for masternodes, 0.7 for stakers, and this will last another week until we get up to 7.5 and beyond. And by the end of this mini series in 4 weeks time, we should be right on peak reward time. So hopefully we can get plenty of rewards to distribute to the airdrop and everyone who participates. Make sure you participate correctly to be involved in the payouts. And we've got it all the way up to like a year's time. Week 53 is their And they say their expectation is that during the first 17 weeks, while the block rewards are increasing, the return on investment will stay approximately around 1,000%. It's currently around high 8 to low 900s rate, which is obviously, they've set this out and they're almost keeping totally to that. So good powers of prediction there, and they kind of know what they're doing with this. They want to get people investing in the project, and that's obviously going to attract a lot of us investors in there because we want these big rewards. The donation tracking tool, so this is the first application that will be launched. This will be Q1 of this year. This tool will be possible to select a number of things that are related to our donation and our charity program. The tool will be used to select charity organization of projects that will benefit the Paws donation fund that is recharged with 10% of every block reward. The tool will be used to donate additional Paws on a voluntary basis from your own wallet to charity organizations and projects of your choice. The tool will be used to track what the donations have been used on and what the progress has been made, so we can double check where exactly the funds have gone and how that's actually been helpful. And the tool will provide insights and aggregated reports as well, considering the company expenses covered by the operational and donation funds. So they'll be able to cover their costs with obviously those block rewards payouts too. So a lot of really good things going on with the project. You should really read the whole thing before investing. They do in detail describe everything they're going to be doing. No stones being left unturned with this white paper. It is really in depth, rather impressive. There is a one-pager here just summarizing some of the things they're going to be doing and the ecosystem, crowdfunding platform, animal cruelty rescue hotline, pet tracking collars, pet tracking registry, all those really cool things that are normal, kind of like you could go and do down the vets, get your animal tracked, but it's going to be on the blockchain. There's going to be serious efficiencies and savings on here, and they're going to be doing more than any single animal charity you can think of. They're going to be doing everything under one roof. And I imagine that you're going to be able to say, if I wanted to donate to my local charity down the road, for example, the local dog shelter, at some stage or another, they'll be on Paws, and I'll be able to do it all through cryptocurrency. And that will be a really great thing, and just drive that adoption of crypto with real world use cases. So this is worth a little read of. I will leave this as well, this link down in the description box for you. In terms of the roadmap going forward as well, as I mentioned, they've got a roadmap on the white paper that goes to the year 2020 and beyond, but there's some real highlights coming up soon for 2019. So they're going to be submitting the application for non-profit organization status, so becoming an official registered charity at some point as well. Initial partnerships are going to be announced. Launch with the Paws online store, Paws charity funding platform, Paws public tracking tool. They're going to be launching the Paws pet tracking collar. 2 major launches for the Paws revolutionary animal registry system will go live in Q3. Loads of really in-depth things on here. Top 50 exchanges. So this is multiple top 50 exchanges they want to be launched on by the end of this year. So they've got the ball rolling. They've got things underway to make this a really strong business model, to make this a really big project. It could be as big as, you know, the World Wildlife Foundation in the future, I feel. And it's just one of the first steps to getting blockchain out there on a charitable level. So really impressed by this. I really do love my pets as well, so this is kind of one that's close to my heart. And we will now move on to the financial side of things after looking at the kind of nice to do things. So we are on Paws, and there is good volume as well in the market at the moment, just over 1 Bitcoin's worth. Daily income, so if we had a full Masternode, it would return 23 coins. So we're going to be looking, with our 300 invested, to be getting roughly 1/3 of that per day. So probably about 6.5 coins I would guess we would get per day at current level. It is listed on both CryptoBridge and Coin Exchange, so 2 big exchanges already. Satoshi price currently 8,263, so around 30 cents. ROI 854%, so a really healthy ROI. Going to get investors in, going to get our interest. Hopefully as well with that we can get a serious amount of coins. I'm hoping we can maybe double our total coins by the end, so maybe we'll get close to 600 coins by the end of the month. And as I say, distributing 20% of those to you guys. So that would be 120 coins distributed amongst the participants. That would be really cool. The actual rewards paid to Masternode in the last 24 hours. So 7 Masternodes were paid out in rewards. So 7,000 coins released. 301 Masternodes on the network. Coins locked 31% at the moment. And a full Masternode will cost actually just under 300 bucks. The price of Bitcoin has dropped over the last few days, which has affected the investment amount that we've made, but we started off with roughly 100 bucks. It's gone down a little bit, hopefully that'll recover over time. So as well, I like to look at the actual ROI and how it's been going, and we're not seeing that big up there and then drop down. We're seeing nice steady levels. As they say, they're trying to aim for around 1,000%. It's been around 800-900% for some time now. So 799 it's saying on there. What's it saying? 854% at the moment. As mentioned, we will be investing on Midas. So if we click on pause, ROI 880 they're saying, and as mentioned we can do the compounding effect because we can reinvest 100% on Midas platform. So that's exactly what I'll be doing to obviously maximize the most coins I can get in the shortest period of time to obviously help with the airdrop. But obviously that's the most sensible thing to do as well if you are an investor. Compound your gains, build them up until you need to maybe sell some off. But what I'll be doing is continuing to invest in this until I've got myself a full Masternode, because that's what I want to aim to achieve, because I think the roadmap is so detailed. There's going to be so many good points to come throughout the year. I think this Masternode is going to be worth quite a lot come the end of 2019. So just to recap, to enter in the Game of Nodes airdrop for Paws, please join the Discord of both Paws and Midas. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Leave your Paws wallet address down below. So in the format CryptoTube, Discord, followed by your wallet address. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.